What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good Monday night. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It is Monday, right? Yeah. That's right. Hey, Carolyn, Debbie, Victoria from Coleman. Awesome. Give it a minute to let everyone get on. What's up, Nancy? Laura, Kaylee. Kaylee, are you talking to yourself? You said sup. Then you said sure did. Seen Spider-Man twice. I was trying to get a short podcast out today, but it didn't happen, but it'll be out tomorrow. We'll talk about it a little bit. Yeah, Debbie, I mean, all is as good as it can be. It was a very sad weekend, but today's been really good. Oh, you were responding to how was your weekend? Oh, I got you. So you went and saw the same movie in the theaters twice this weekend? Hey, Sarah, how are you? So, whatever y'all would like to discuss this evening, we'll discuss the one video I was trying to get out today is in reference to Brittany Stapleton. It's been a while since I've had to say her name, thankfully, but she's making her waves back around with some people, and it had to do with, and I think I spoke about this on one of my lives, but I don't think I ever put it in an actual podcast. When she, back in March, she sent me a message pretty much trying to blackmail me. I mean, I don't know that it meets the blackmail legal terms of every state, but I mean, that's what it is. And I start seeing some people start posting or tagging me in some videos this weekend where she had done that to numerous other creators. And most of the ones that we know of did exactly as I did, and I don't care. I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. Never will claim to be. I've made mistakes in my life. Trust me, no mistake have I ever made is even a 1/50th of what her husband has done. So whatever she thinks she has on me, whatever, I don't care. Bring it out, whatever. So it didn't work on me. And I know a few others it did not work on. Unfortunately, it definitely worked on one. And it's a pretty large TikTok creator. I think she has like, I don't know, 250,000 followers on TikTok. And she was calling out Brittany, making posts about her, and then all of a sudden, she removed all of her stuff about Brittany and put out an apology video. And we'll watch that in just a second. And she can claim, as she does in her apology video, that she had a change of heart. That's bullshit. That's not what happened, and I'll prove that. It's not a coincidence. I'm talking about Brittany Stapleton, and well, actually, right now I'm specifically talking about another TikTok creator named. I'll have to pull her up. Already forgot her name. Aaron MJ, and it's spelled AARYN. I'll bring it up. Is that what? Hold on. No. So this is her. Yeah, 255,000 followers, so pretty big on TikTok. I don't know that she's anywhere else. I think it's just on TikTok. Could be wrong, but that's all I know of. So she was calling, and I'd never watched her before. I'd never heard of her till the day before yesterday. But she was calling out Brittany, and let's do this. Let's go ahead and play the apology video.
I apologize to Brittany. Cyberbullying, that shit pulled on my heart and I started crying. And I was like, Aaron Michelle, you know better. So I sat with that feeling and I was like, you know what? I went back and I deleted my comments. I sat with the words that I wanted to say. I typed them out and I apologized to her for the way that I treated her, because projection is poison. Projection prolongs pain. I do want to say that I love you guys. For the longtime followers that are going to unfollow and block me for this, I still love you, okay? What I do doesn't make any sense to other people because you guys don't understand what I went through as a child, and you never will. You might hear my story.
Oh, it makes complete sense to me.
but you will not understand the impact it had on me. I've been struggling to forgive my father for years. So I had to get to a place where I acknowledged that Josh is not my dad. He's not the one who abused me. Do I agree with his charges or what he did? No. But I reached out to Brittany because she's not the one in jail. She's not the one who deserves to be treated the way that she's being treated. And I am proud of her, you guys.
This girl just said she is proud of Brittany Stapleton. If you're not familiar with Brittany Stapleton, I've been covering them for over a year. Literally what got me started in this work. Her husband, Josh, is in prison right now for uploading and downloading CSAM. And his indictment, as I've stated before, is the sickest, most disturbing indictment I have ever read. And I've seen a lot of bad things in my career. It's the worst. I will never read them again because the first time I read them, I couldn't sleep for a couple of days. I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not the only one that said this. The lead investigator for his case, it almost killed her. And she's going to be on the podcast soon. She was on Chris Hansen's podcast recently and tells her story, and it's horrible. I mean, it drove her over the edge, and she had been investigating child crimes for a long time. I'm telling you, it's as bad as you could not even imagine how bad it is. Brittany has constantly been minimizing what he has done in every way that you possibly could. She has been profiting off of their story. She's an evil, horrible excuse for a human. She knows exactly what she's doing. And anyone with sense knows what she's doing. I mean, it's the case that got me on Chris Hansen's podcast. That's the case we talked about. And this girl just said she is proud of her.
Very proud of her. And I can confidently say that she is not this bad person that you guys are saying she is, okay?
Yes, she is.
I held off on making this video for months. I've posted about it on Friends Only. This helped me get to a place where I can actually forgive my father because I stopped projecting on other people and I finally fucking moved past it. I apologize to Brittany.
Now, I want to be clear. Whatever happened to her when she was a child, that's horrible. I hate that, and I empathize with her on that. This line in here where she says, I had to realize that Josh Stapleton's not my father. I don't understand that whatsoever, because her father may have been a horrible, evil excuse for a human. He could not have been worse than Josh Stapleton. Now, he could have been as bad, but there's no way he was worse. So, again, pay attention to the things that she said as her excuses for why she has done all this. Now, let's read let's read one of the messages that Brittany Stapleton wrote to another large creator, which is Megan Renee, and I'll bring her profile up in a second, because if you're not following her, you should. She puts out really good stuff. And she's been calling Brittany Stapleton out for a long time. You said we can just not talk about each other, or we can go tit for tat. Would you like to stick to not talking about each other, or would you prefer the latter? You have an entire playlist about me. Remove it. Post an apology, and we're even. Does that all that sound familiar? I've allowed your cyberbullying and harassment for more than a year. I've held on to what I have on you for months. And remember that line, because that's going to sound familiar to you in a second with mine. Only because you have a child or children. And when I went after True Crime Megan, I felt like shit because her children didn't deserve that. Now, we'll pull up the one she sent to me. We can truce anytime you'd like. You have dragged me for months, and I've kept my mouth shut, which that is comical because, she has never kept her mouth shut about me. I don't know why she even said something ridiculous like that. I don't post anything without proof, and I don't speculate. I have more, and it's not a good look. I will not stop if you continue coming after me and speculating things that are absolutely not true. I could take legal action with the recordings I have of you making false statements about me. Instead, I'll give you the same offer. We never speak each other's names again. You delete everything about us, me and Josh, and I delete everything about you because, quite frankly, I don't enjoy ruining marriages and embarrassing people's children over their parents' actions. That sound familiar? Simple and up to you. I've done this with True Crime Megan and a realtor, and I'll do the same for you. Your choice. And again, Brittany, there is no way in hell I would ever back down to anyone like you or you. You will never shut me up. Good luck trying. I'm here for it. Not going anywhere. Now, is there anyone that believes what Erin was saying as her true reasoning and excuses for why she pulled all of Brittany's stuff down and made this apology to her? I mean, it's pretty clear. Now, here is one thing that's very troubling to me about this. I've watched a few of Erin's stuff now, trying to get an idea of who she is. She's been pretty open about her past. She's a recovering addict. She's been very open about all of that. So what the hell does Brittany have on her that would make her do this? It must be something pretty bad. That's troubling to me. Now, Erin has one video on TikTok that has like 60 million views. And it's in relation to her finding out that she is finally getting her child back that was taken from her. That was, and don't quote me on why he was taken, I don't know. or who he was with, either like maybe her mother or family member. I've seen different things, but Child Protective Services, something was involved, and they took her child from her. And she made this video of her reaction to finding out she was getting him back, and it was all emotional and all that stuff. Great. I'm going to play you another video of Erin that was screen recorded from one of her lives. And before I do, trigger warning. Trigger warning. It involves a child. Now you don't the child is not in the video, like you can't see them. I wouldn't play it if you could. But it involves a child, and you can hear them in the background saying some very, very, I mean, to say the least, troubling things. A 5-year-old, to be exact. You will see her reaction to that. And I can't say what the child actually says, because at least 2 of the platforms on right now would shut me down. That's how troubling it is, what this 5-year-old says. Again, pay attention to her reaction to And I saw this. Chris Hansen actually posted this a while back. And I remember seeing it then. I was like, that's horrible. Earlier today, I put 2 and 2 together and realized that's the same freaking girl. So this was so disturbing to him. He posted this on his page as well. But again, trigger warning. So
Looks like Roblox. I'm gonna let him work that out on his own, because I'm not.
You all know my stance on Roblox. It's as bad as you could get. Multitude of problems and issues with it. I'm against any child playing Roblox, no matter what. And I wish what we're talking about right now is the worst of this video. It's not even close. If your child plays Roblox, you need to stop what you're doing right this second and pull them off of it and make sure they never play it again. Because all it is a big hunting ground for child predators. Numerous people have proven that. Her 5-year-old is on it.
Going to get screamed at over a fucking video game. Yeah, it's literally fucking Roblox.
Now, first off, I'm not a perfect parent. If any game was affecting my child like that, they wouldn't be on it anymore. Just that. If any kind of game is affecting your child, especially 5-year-old like this, it's probably not a good idea for them to be on it anyway. I think most would agree with me of that.
No, he's running away, friends.
Did y'all hear that? Don't repeat it in the chats because again we'll get kicked off, and I can't repeat it because we get kicked off. But did y'all hear what he said? Yeah, you heard what you thought you heard. I'm going to effing myself. That's what that 5-year-old just said over Roblox. I think you need to leave this one. Don't miss here on her screen where someone is commenting LMFAO, which means laugh my ass off. So one of the people watching her right now, this is just hilarious to them. He said it again. He said it again. Now you hear a dog in the background barking, and then you hear the kids screaming. I don't have any idea what's going on. I'm not going to try to claim I do or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know if he's getting disciplined. I don't know. I don't care after what I've already heard enough. That right there. How does a 5-year-old even know that? That is a great question. How? They didn't come up with it on their own. You know, one reason Roblox is completely evil because of one group called 765 that we have discussed briefly from time to time. And it is a group of the most evil people in the world. And they target vulnerable children and young teens on Roblox and some other platforms, but Roblox is one of them. And they convince these children to do horrible things to themselves, including taking their own life. And it's happened. And they live feed it. That group has successfully taught children and young teenagers into taking their own life on screen so they can watch it and laugh about it. I wish I was making this stuff up, but I am not. It's real. So you have to ask yourself, did he learn that from Roblox? Decent chance he did. Did he learn it from his mother? I don't know. But as someone said, how does a 5-year-old even know that? Because they should not. 765, from my understanding, has kind of broken up into a bunch of different groups now. There are still people calling themselves 765, but they have broken up into different groups now because the authorities are on to them and targeting them out. So there's numerous different names now, but it's the same people doing the same stuff. I can't listen to it anymore. That's enough. This is all very troubling. And again, I remember seeing that when Chris Hansen posted about it and spoke about it a while back. And I thought, how horrible. And when I put two and two together earlier today, I about fell out of my chair because I saw her. I kept seeing some of her videos, and I was like, she looks familiar. Where have I seen her before? And I thought maybe just flipping through TikTok before and her videos popped up or something on For You page. I don't know. But I kept thinking. And then at some point it just clicked. I was like, was that girl? And then I go back to his page and I see and I find out and verify that's who that was. So this is the same person who has now come out with a public apology to Brittany Stapleton, claims they're friends now, and says she is proud of Brittany Stapleton. This is the kind of company that Brittany Stapleton keeps. Chris Hansen's video is it's on his TikTok. It may be, I'm not sure if it's on his Facebook or YouTube, but it is definitely on his TikTok. That's where I saw it. Also, think about this right now, as we're talking about what we're talking about, the most horrible crimes anyone could commit and calling these people out. There's someone on YouTube commenting that I'm a clown, that I'm a fraud, and laughing. So more than likely, there is an active child predator right now on YouTube watching me. Because they don't like what I'm talking about right now. It's possibly a member of 764. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And when I tell you they will stop at nothing to try to silence those of us that are calling them out, they will stop at nothing. Thank you, Lowingo. The messages I've gotten. I've been followed by a private investigator. There's been females hired, there has been females paid to come at me online trying to seduce me so they can then blackmail me. I'm telling you, they have tried almost everything. And it's not stopping anytime soon. Weekly, at least weekly, somebody sends me a new comment of somebody that says something about me that's just, it gets more and more ridiculous. So just now, and I'm doing all this, I wasn't expecting all this, by the way, but I'm proving right now. So Melissa just commented on Facebook. She just had a fake account message her about me. So we've got one on TikTok right now that they just had to block. Somebody's messaging Melissa on Facebook right now. And then we had the one on YouTube right now. This is what happens every time I talk about them. They come from everywhere. And again, I've seen, I mean, you can ask my team some of the ridiculous things that people make up. They try everything to discredit me. And there's a reason. No, it's not the same account. They're hitting me from all different platforms constantly. I mean, we block them nonstop. What was I about to say? I can't remember. I lost my thought. But y'all are seeing this in real time. Oh, I know what I was going to say. And do you ever see, how much of the child predator stuff do you see on mainstream media? Our block list is longer than CVS's receipt. That's funny. They don't. Let me tell you something else. And this is one reason why I tell y'all, don't trust AI. AI, the people who run AI are getting paid by the exact same people that run mainstream media. They're the same. So when you go and you ask AI a question, keep that stuff in mind. Let me tell you what happened today. So I do my videos when I make a video and I record it and everything. And then once I do, I copy and paste the written transcript from my video into one of the AI platforms and say, give me a good, clear description of this. And that's the description that you see on my videos. And sometimes a lot of times I'll change things here and there, but they can just make it sound better. They can zip it down better than I can and give a very clear synopsis of what the video is, is about or whatever. So the video I made today about this, I did that and I put the transcript into Claude. And it said, "We are unable to assist you with this as this is numerous unverifiable claims. Unverifiable claims. I just need you to give me a description of the video that I made." That's what it said. So I spent the next 30 minutes, and I wish I was making this up, arguing with Claude and accusing it of, "You're mainstream media. You don't want us talking about this, and so you refuse to assist anyone at all that's even talking about it." It is crazy. It's nuts. And it's not the first time that I've had issues with AI with this kind of stuff. It happens every time. The only AI platform that I've yet to have any issues with whatsoever is Grok. I've had zero issues with it. ChatGPT is legit, 100%, nothing but politically correct. Just, I don't trust it at all. I just started using Claude because someone told me to start using it for what I do. And then that happens today. So I'm done with Claude. This is an uphill battle, to say the least. The platforms are constantly hitting me with it. I'll say this. It is very hard, and anybody that does this it is very hard to make money doing this when you're telling the truth. It's very hard. TikTok is constantly demonetizing my videos that I do on specific things for made up reasons. I had one video that was doing really well on TikTok, and they demonetized it the other day randomly and said it was because of video quality. I shoot using an 8K. I mean, I don't shoot in 8K because it doesn't do any good with the platforms, but it's an 8K cinema camera that's made for shooting cinema. It'll give you the best video that you can get right now in today's time. Every single video I post is shot with the same camera. But that one, all of a sudden, it said video quality. I appealed it, and they still shot it down. It's very hard. And it gets so frustrating. But again, I mean, I'm not going anywhere. We're here, and we're not going to stop. But just to give you a little insight into, it comes from everywhere. And I would be making a lot more money and live a lot less stressful life if I wasn't talking about it. But I talk about the things that I want to. And I talk about the things that need more awareness brought to them. And that is definitely one of those things. And it's become one of my passions. It's become my new passion, is the child predators, going after them and protecting the children. So we're not going to stop. And We'll see where it goes, but we're not going to stop. But be careful who you follow, no matter how many followers they have. Because like I said, Aaron MJ there has 250,000 followers on TikTok, which is very big. And number one, I wouldn't trust anything she says. Number two, I would not support her at all for a lot of reasons. But yet the pedos like Gulf Coast Stapletons make money. I guarantee Brittany Stapleton makes a lot more money than I do on TikTok. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. But they're everywhere, and when you speak out against them, they come from, out of the. I guarantee you, if we hadn't been talking about this tonight, none of this stuff would have happened like that. It only happens when we're talking about this stuff. I'm watching Lioness right now, and it's about child trafficking. That's a good show. I like that show. I don't watch much TV at all, but I watch that one. Did I go to Will Roberts' funeral this past Saturday? I did. And if you have not, it was live streamed. The funeral was live streamed, and there's been some people posting shorts and stuff from it. If you have not watched Charlie Jane, his younger sister, speak. Uh, watch that. It's amazing. Sad but amazing. She did an amazing job. Very, very strong young girl. And her his mother Brittany, she did amazing too. The strength that they have is just unbelievable. And Jason, his dad, again, that they all did such an amazing job speaking. I don't know how they did it, but they did a great job. And um, there was thousands of people that came through the funeral at one point. At one point or the other, there were probably close to 1,000 that stayed, for the whole thing, but definitely more than 1,000 that came through. And I was texting with Jason today, and he said that the church said more. I think it was more than 100 and hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. The funeral home said that over 153,000 people logged in to watch the service. 153,000. Will did more in his 15 years than most of us will do in our entire lives by far. He touched more people than any of us probably ever will. And he will continue to. And that's the great thing that came out of the good thing that came out of this is that he's going to continue to. I think they're going to do really big things with his legacy and with cancer research and childhood cancer. And I think they're going to do really big things. I have no doubt about that. And so again, that will continue to happen and to touch people. And I can't wait to see where all it goes. But keep his family and friends in your prayers because they still need it. They're gonna, I mean, they're always gonna miss him. There's no way around that. And I can't imagine. I can't imagine what they're going through. I can't. Yeah, exactly, Stacy. It should not have been so hard to get the treatment he needed. The big treatment that he got literally had to make it get all the way to the president of the United States for him to be able to get it. That's crazy. And that should never happen. Now, obviously, we don't know if he'd have gotten it sooner, what it would have changed. But I guarantee you this, his family would love to know what it would have done. And I guarantee you this, there's a lot of families right now with children going through the same thing that would love to at least see what it could do. And they deserve that. It's crazy it took all of that just for him to get a cancer treatment. And it wasn't about cost. His mom did such a great job of bringing awareness to what they were going through. Cost wasn't an issue. because there were people everywhere gladly donating to them, and some very, very wealthy people. So it wasn't even the cost. It was literally that hard to just get it, no matter the cost. And the cost was, I don't remember. I'm not going to quote how much I think it was because I don't remember, but the cost was ridiculous as well. So I mean, that has got to be fixed, but just take that out. It was still literally almost impossible. And it was a miracle that he got it when he did. Yeah, and that's all because of the big pharma. That one drug was being researched in 2010, somewhere around in there, I think, or when they stopped it, and it was showing very promising results. It was showing very positive results, and then all of a sudden, big pharma got it and dropped and stopped all research on it. If you think, and I used to think people were crazy for saying this, I'll admit, I used to when I used to hear people say they don't want a cure for cancer, I used to think you're crazy. Yes, they do. Well, I was wrong, because there is no doubt in my mind now, big pharma does not want a cure for that, which makes me wonder how many people have came up with a cure and they've squashed it. How many? And big pharma is what runs our country. And our politicians in Washington keep allowing it to. And they don't do anything to try to stop it. They just accept their money. And we keep sending the same exact people up there, expecting a different result. That blows my mind. It blows my mind. Hey, I got an idea. Let's send a career politician to Washington. He'll change things. Yeah. It's just ignorant to me. And Gloria, that is the number I want to say again. No, don't quote me on this, but Gloria said it too. That was $500,000 for that treatment, and that's the number that popped in my head. But again, don't quote me on that. I mean, I don't want to. I could be wrong, but since she said it too, I'll go ahead and say it. But I don't know that that's I'm not 100% sure, but it was a lot. Copper Girls said, I honestly believe Will has opened doors for the future children to receive the treatment he got. I really believe Will has made a difference for the future in his treatment. No, I do too. I don't doubt that at all. And one thing that I was thinking about earlier, because I've had to have these conversations with my son because he was really good friends with Will. He was one of his best friends. Knew him his whole life. And my son's 11. And I can't imagine how confusing and how it feels at that young age to lose someone that close to you, because I didn't lose anyone that close to me till I was a grown adult. And, you know, I've tried I've looked everywhere and talked to everybody I know that has ever mentored me or anything. What do you tell a kid at that age? Like, what do you? And there's no right answer. I mean, There's just not. So anyway, when I was sitting around putting more thought into that of when the next question comes, one thing that came to my mind is, and this is not going to make his family feel any better or his friends, and I get that. But Will did accomplish, on top of everything we've talked about so far, which is the best things. This is definitely nothing like those, but it's just one of those things. Most people, whether they want to admit it or not, if you ask them, what is one thing you truly want out of life when you leave? Most people, if they're being honest, will say they want to be remembered. Within 100 years after you leave this earth, you will be completely forgotten. Almost all of us. Because by that time, no one that ever knew us will still be alive. So we will be completely forgotten. It will be as if we never existed. It's a very happy live tonight, isn't it? We're gonna have to change things in just a second. But that's the truth. So most people, if they're being honest, they would say, I want to be remembered. And most of us won't. But will. Because again, not only is his legacy huge right now, it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. And like Copper Girl said, he opened the door that's going to save God knows how many children's lives. I have no doubt in that. And so I do think he will go down and he will be remembered. And again, that's something that most of us will never accomplish, no matter how old we live to. Again, that's nothing compared to the other things he did. The other things he did are way more valuable and better than that. But that's just one of those things that came to my mind. We will all need to call our therapist when this is over. Gonna have nothing but depressed people. I definitely didn't mean for it to go this route here, so we gotta change it. And that's, I've seen, not many, but I've seen a few comments or posts people have sent me from allegedly some other parents that their child went through the same thing or something similar, and it's like they were like upset that he got all this attention and their kid didn't. And I can, number one, I mean, I can understand that, but he wasn't getting all the attention for himself. Just like Copper Girl said, what his family did by letting us all live right in this with them throughout the whole thing, the awareness that Brittany brought to this will change a lot. And again, like we've said, will help how God knows how many children in the future. So it's a very selfish thing for any other parent to be like that about it, to say the least. And I hate to judge a parent that went through that, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But I don't. That's uncalled for. And trust me, Brittany and Jason would take all of this back if they could have him back. There's no. I mean, it's not like they wanted this. So it's just some of those comments I've seen really, really piss me off. Only God knows how many people have entered into a personal relationship with Jesus because of the Roberts family. I've had multiple people message me that exact thing, that either themselves or close friends or family members of them have because of his story. Yep. But as I said, pray for them because they're going to need that for a long time. I mean, it's not something that they will get over or anything like that. It's they're very strong, but they definitely need prayers. And as I've said from the very beginning of this, they are legit good people. They are. I've known them for a long time, and they are legit good people. Jason would do anything for you. Jason would do anything for anyone. Anytime I've ever called him for a favor, he's jumped up immediately. I mean, that's just who he is. They are really legit good people. And I hope what Brittany did encourages more families that are going through similar things to see, hey, this is one way that we can bring awareness to this and get help for ourselves, because the stuff is so expensive. And that is one way where you get multiple eyes on it and multiple people seeing what you're going through. And there are a lot of giving people in this world, and that's a good part about it as well. And anyone that wants to say you're doing it for fame, let them say it. That's the people that are going to have something to say no matter what. Can we talk about something positive now? Yes, we have to, because I've gotten myself depressed as well. Let's see. What do we have here? Looking at my notes. Just realizing all my notes that I had to talk about is all depressing stuff as well. We're gonna have to start throwing in a comedy hour once a week or something. Yeah, no look there. Let me see. Oh, I know what we can do. Talk about, hold on, what? Can talk about Whitney asking for out of state work. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is a good one. Let's pull up True Crime Mama. I know I saw her post about it. Well, maybe I made it up. I thought she did. Here it is. Now, I'm not extremely familiar. Hey, thank you, Mary. We're trying to get on something nice here, and you bring up Sharia law. Do I think that there will be Sharia law in the near future? I mean, not in Alabama, but in some states, I do. I mean, there already is, and in reality, there already is in parts of Michigan. That's on them. They can deal with that. Now, I'm not extremely familiar with the Whitney story, but let me bring it up. There we go. So Whitney, is it Cheatham's? She was again, I wish I was more familiar with her original story, but she was operating one of these like spa things in Coleman, Alabama, where she was pretty much playing doctor. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And she was arrested for that. I think drug trafficking. Well, let me see if she's got it on here. But she's indicted on way more counts than I realized. She was indicted on 20 counts. 3 are trafficking counts, which is all Class A felonies. 2 of those carry a mandatory minimum of 25 years of prison and a $500,000 fine. The third case is a mandatory minimum of 10 years. Which is also did it say 3? Oh yeah, okay. Let's say that code is trafficking as well. Yeah, so 3 different traffickings and multiple counts of unlawful distribution of a controlled substance, practicing medicine without a license, and 6 counts of forging prescriptions for controlled substances. So, I mean, she is looking at a lot of prison time. I mean, a lot. And so she is out on bond. That's her. Let's get back to the Whitney Cheatham's content house invitation is legitimate. So she is out on bond, and she is now, and her part of her bond conditions is she cannot leave the state of Alabama. So her attorney has requested that she be allowed to go to is it Tennessee? Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee for this. So she is asking for the court to change the conditions of her bond so that she can leave Alabama for what her attorneys describe as a work-related event in Nashville, Tennessee. A motion filed yesterday states that Cheatham, who now works as a content creator, is seeking permission to travel from August 6th through August 10th. Her attorney submitted a letter they said was an invitation to attend an event in Nashville during those dates. Prosecutors are urging the court to deny the request. In their response, they argue that Cheatham poses a flight risk based on the nature of the charges she is facing and statements she allegedly made during a recorded jail phone call, according to the filing. Cheatham allegedly told her father not to turn himself in and said that if she were released, she would not return. The Coleman County District Attorney's Office also claims the invitation letter submitted with the motion was generated using artificial intelligence rather than being a legitimate invitation. Prosecutors further allege that on the same day as the motion was filed, Cheatham advertised on Instagram for pornographic content that was scheduled to be filmed at a content house during the same time period she was requesting permission to travel. Since her release on bond, Cheatham has begun creating adult content online. The judge will decide whether her bond conditions should be modified to allow the requested out-of-state trip. This is nuts. So what this is there was a previous, there was this one girl that was at one point the most famous person on OnlyFans. And I mean, making, I think, if I remember correctly, $300,000 or $400,000 a month. And she went on Charlie Kirk's podcast, and I remember listening to the podcast because she had changed. She had turned her life over to Jesus and completely changed, and she's going around on podcasts bringing awareness to how horrible OnlyFans is, and specifically these type of events and these houses that exist. Because I remember thinking that is crazy, but that I remember her talking about this specific kind of thing, and it's crazy. A lot of just, as my grandma would say, devil at work there. And I wish I could remember that girl's name because she was great, and her story is amazing, because she ultimately chose God over the money, and she changed her entire life. But that's what this woman is requesting to go to, is one of these OnlyFans houses where they invite a bunch of these OnlyFans models to specific locations. And I mean, it's just a big read between the lines. There's no doubt in my mind that at these locations that women that are being trafficked end up at. No doubt. Yeah, not all of them. But you will never convince me that some of the women that end up at these houses and these parties are not being trafficked, because they are. Therefore, her going and being a part of that, she would literally be participating in human trafficking. And her attorneys has literally asked the judge and filed a motion to allow her to go to this while she's out on bond for these, tons of serious crimes. You can't make this up. That's nuts. And hopefully the judge either knows about what these things really are or researches, and I'm sure him or his assistants or somebody will research, or probably the prosecutors, and let them know as well. That's what this is. It's crazy to me that They have no shame, that's for sure. This woman has no shame. You would hope when someone ends up in the position she is, that would be their rock bottom, and for them to look around and go, you know what? Maybe I should change my life a little bit. Maybe the route I'm on is not going to end well for me. But it seems that she doubled down on it. Instead of saying that, she was like, I'm going to keep this truck rolling. And let's get involved in all this mess. You can't make it up. If you have never dug into the corn industry and how evil it truly is, look into it. If you're not familiar, if you think it's just innocent and that people that are addicted to it and paying for it are just, that's their business. No. There's been too many previous models come out of that life that tell the real story about what really goes on, and it is horrible. And again, a lot of the women that end up in these places are trafficked, and they end up in that cycle that they just can't get out of. I had the guy on from the, oh my goodness, I cannot think clearly tonight. But you can go back and check out my podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. And I did an interview. I had a guy that is he's like the CEO pretty much of a place here in Alabama that takes in those girls and changes their life. Gives them therapy, a nice place to stay, takes care of their children, gets them into therapy and rehab and all this stuff. It's a great thing. Not enough of those places around. But anyway, he talks about that a woman can be trafficked and then she ends up in that lifestyle, and then she has a daughter, and that daughter pretty much has no hope, and she ends up in that lifestyle, and then she has a daughter, and it's just a never-ending cycle. And it's really hard to break that cycle. And it's really sad. But the fact that so many people think of this stuff as victimless crimes or just all innocent, they need more education about what's really going on. Because it is not good. I've had this discussion with when we would run operations with undercovers pretending to be prostitutes and get the Johns, as they call them, in. And I've had this conversation with a lot of those. Do you realize when you're doing this, most of the women that you're paying for are trafficked, and most of them are being forced to do this, and you're participating in that? It's horrible. But that is not an innocent crime. It's not a victimless crime. It is, without the demand, the girls wouldn't be trafficked. And the men that go to those, that pay for them, are giving the demand for it. They're causing that demand. And it's very concerning to me about how many people participate in that. And then again, of how many people think it's just innocent. acting like, well, I mean, the girl's willing. I mean, that's on her. That is not how it works. Because I've interviewed a lot of these girls. That's not how it works. One, I said we're going to talk about happy, but I do want to tell this just to show what I'm talking about, to give an example of what I'm talking about. So one time when I was in investigations and I was the on-call agent, and I got called out. Another unit had arrested a female and a couple males at a local hotel, and they had drugs on them. And so they called me out because of the drugs. And so I'm sitting down with this girl, and I start interviewing her, and I could immediately see something was up. Like, she didn't need to be arrested. Like, there was something else going on here. And so I kept pushing her on it. And I was like, I know you're not being honest with me, but like, you need to tell me. Finally, she said, I can't tell you or they'll kill my baby. And so obviously that perked me up, and I'm like, what? And so anyway, I eventually got it out of her. She was sent down here, her and two other females, by a group out of Memphis, Tennessee. And they had her, I want to say, don't quote me on the age, I want to say as a 2-year-old, maybe even younger than that. Very, very young child that was hers. They were holding hostage in Memphis and sending her out to these different cities, and she had to send them at least $1,000 every single day, or they told her they were going to take her baby's life. It had been over a month she'd been doing this, so she truly didn't even really know if her baby was still alive. So I get this out of her, and I go and tell the unit that was running the operation, and we get more information out of her. And anyway, we're able to get a phone number for one of the suspects in Memphis, and we do emergency ping order on that, and we get the marshals in Memphis to go to this house where we thought he was located. They go, kick in the door. Sure enough, they have this woman's baby. They were able to get the baby safely, and we got them put in jail, and not the girl that they were about to put in jail here. That's an example of what happens. So almost none of these girls are truly voluntarily doing what they're doing. That's extremely rare, actually. It's and they get them very young. They target the vulnerable. They'll get a 14, 15-year-old runaway, and before they know it, they're in that life, and again, it's so hard for them to get out. Well, not only do they get them addicted to the drugs, but in a lot of cases, they force them to take the drugs so they can work more hours. I've had many tell me that, like, that they didn't want to do the drugs, they didn't like the drugs, but they didn't have, like, the guys would actually shoot the drugs in them because they didn't want them sleeping, because they wanted them working. I mean, it's horrible. That's slavery, number one. And there are probably people that paying to go, and they're supporting that. And I'm sure glad we got off on a happy subject. Who said we should talk about that? What a bad idea you had. No, I'm just joking. Very good point, Amy. What female would volunteer to be graped every day? That is a very good point. My team is keeping me entertained, that's for sure. All right, somebody tell us something funny that we can discuss so I don't have us all depressed for the rest of the week. Oh, one thing I've made a new friend and she is awesome and she is doing awesome work as well. And I want you all to go follow her. I meant to add, I'm just going to put her main page up, but she's got some other. Sometimes she's on my live. I don't. Is Neely on here? I haven't seen her, so probably not. But well, y'all can't see that. On Facebook, there we go. Neely Andrews Faulkner. This is her main Facebook page, her personal one. And she put some content up here, but they also have she runs Murder Creek Media, and they have a website. So go check that out. Hold on, let me get that pulled up. So this is Murder Creek Media's website, and it is just murdercreekmedia.com. Very simple. But go check out their website, and you can see they've got all the links to all the platforms that they're on. She posts some blogs and podcast, and she's got a partner. Her name's Whitney, and I'm going to mispronounce her last name. Scapecchi. Anyway, that's her partner. But check out Murder Creek Media. She's just, Neely is really awesome, and I think we're going to be doing some collaboration on some things, and I'm looking forward to that. And they are really on top of all the Orange Beach drama, along with CC Moreno. But you can definitely keep up with all that on there. But anyway, really awesome podcast. So go follow them, check them out. You won't be disappointed. When is CC coming on with me? We have tried so many times. We have had it set and scheduled probably 7 times so far. And one time, I'm having to reschedule because of something come up, and the next she is, and then the next me, and we're going back and forth, but we're trying. So hopefully, eventually, but we are trying. Literally, we schedule it at least once a week, and one of us has to cancel every time. But and she is extremely busy right now. She has got a bunch going on, but she wants to come on. And again, we're gonna get there one day. James, to answer your question, I'm probably not going to talk about that guy anymore because I don't want to say that out loud because that wouldn't be nice either. I'm trying to think of a polite way to say what I was going to say, but I don't know that I can, so I'll just leave it at that. There's a reason I'm probably not going to talk about him anymore. I'll just leave it at that. Sorry, I know that's kind of leaving you hanging, but if I told you, it would probably make me sound even worse, and I don't want to do that. So, hey, Chelsea, how are you? Oh, you know of me because of CC? That's awesome. No, CC is definitely one of my favorite people. Now, she will keep you entertained. Literally, hers is the first, when I get in the office in the morning, her Facebook page is the first thing I go to check out because I know it's going to. I'm going to crack up over something for sure. But she's funny, but she's also extremely intelligent. And if she says it, it's fact. I fully trust everything she says. She is not going to say something unless she knows for a fact. And that's hard to find. What's the topic tonight? Think of the most depressing things you could ever talk about, and that's probably what we've talked about tonight. Unfortunately, we've talked about a lot of depressing things. We talked about some child predator stuff. We have talked about human trafficking. What else? A lot of bad things. Childhood cancer. Has anything else come of the Anthony Clark thing? I hear so many different names, and throughout the week I'm discussing so many different people and stories. And I know that name, but I can't think of what it relates to, just to be honest. So you'll have to give me a little more. Anthony, I know that name. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's why I couldn't remember. That's been too long ago for me. No, nothing else on that is other than as far as we know, he is not employed anywhere that would where he would be around children or anything. But that I could be wrong about that. But as far as we know, that is the case right now. Yes, Chelsea, and thank you for that. Yeah, we talked about Will for a while too, and the legacy that he has and will continue to have. When when did you send the email, Lainey? Has that been like just recent? Because we're still going through. We've been getting a lot lately, but we're going through all of them. If you emailed, we will look at it. We will get a look at it at some point soon, if we haven't already. Did I see Rob's video? You got to give me more than Rob. Oh, okay. Then I've definitely seen it. I'll go back and check it out again. Yeah, if you sent it back then, no, I've already seen it for sure and put it somewhere, put the note somewhere. Yeah, I'll go back and look. So, Tammy, who's Rob? What Rob are you talking about? Oh, that reminds me of something I want to show y'all. I think this is going to be really good. So, y'all, most of you remember Rodrigo or know Rodrigo Burgos, who I had as a guest on my podcast. He was a previous student of the ramp and previous staff member of the ramp. He, and he's been doing a lot of his own stuff, really putting some really good content out. But he has landed a interview. Here, let me just pull it up. What is that? Okay, never mind. So he is going to be interviewing Arlene Prela, who I recently did a podcast on. She's really good friends with Karen Wheaton and is a big part of the ramp in Hamilton, Alabama. And she is the very strange woman that adopted Aileen Wuornos when she was in prison. The woman, serial, insert last word. So he is going to be interviewing Arlene live. Let me see when it is. But I'm looking forward to this. Oh, so tomorrow. So Tuesday, August 4th, tomorrow at 10:30 Central Time. So it's 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central Time, and it will be live on his Facebook. And I'll post that to my page too because I want everybody to see it. But I think that'll be really. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be very interesting. So y'all try to check that out. And of course, if you can't catch it live, then I'm sure he will have the replay up. But I'm going to catch that live because I think it'll be very interesting. And, I've dug in. We dug into Arlene's history and other things. And where because she made a comment on my post saying that she received $0 from all of that, from adopting Aileen and the interviews. And that's not true at all. In fact, she made quite a bit of money. She was charging $25,000 per interview. Now, most people that I can find wasn't paying her that much, but some definitely paid her at least $10,000. And then she was actually accepting money because Aileen, while in prison, was doing some interviews from prison, and she found out Arlene was accepting money from some of the media companies for Aileen's interviews. So she's pretty much taking her money from her. And when Aileen found that out, she cut their relationship off. And I think that's one thing that Arlene tends to kind of leave out of things. But before Aileen faced her demise, which was the death penalty, she had cut all ties off with Arlene and her husband because she realized they were just using her for money. And again, Arlene conveniently leaves that part out. But we've got the receipts on that. But she definitely took a lot of money. I don't know about a lot of money. I don't know depending on what your definition of a lot of money is. But she definitely took quite a bit of money, at least $100,000 in all, but probably much more than that. But at least $100,000. And so for her to get on and claim that she took zero money from that's such a lie, just a complete lie. Rodrigo Burgos. Where did it go? Hold on. I'll pull it back up so you can see it. So, go for. I need to accept this friend request there. I probably can. I think I got too many. Nope. Yeah, they'll let me. Go follow Rodrigo Burgos on Facebook. There's his name. There's his profile picture. And it'll be live on his Facebook page tomorrow at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. Yeah, I think it'll be a very interesting. Funny thing, she blocked me on Facebook, then called you a liar. So I did a quick search and found loads of, I'm guessing you're going to say the evidence where she took quite a bit of money. But yeah, that's the only reason that they. First off, I'd never heard of someone adopting a full-grown person like that. I've since found out it is more common than I realized. It's not like extremely common, but it's more common than I realized. But that's strange to me in itself. But that's the only reason they did. This woman's in prison, vulnerable, and Arlene reaches out to her and befriends her and manipulates her and does that. Now, I can't pretend that I feel too bad for Aileen Wuornos because she did take some, from my understanding, some of the men's lives she took was just completely innocent men. I know she had a horrible childhood and all that stuff, but still, certain things you can't do. But I still feel a little bad for her for them taking advantage of her like that. But, I can't feel too bad about it. But it just shows you what kind of person Arlene, or what kind of people Arlene and her husband are. Everything to do with the ramp is all about making money. The company that Karen Wheaton surrounds herself around, they're all the same. Everything. Again, I've never seen someone that can make money as good as Karen Wheaton. They had a block party for their last summer ramp, or not for the last one, but the one before that, and was charging the kids for hot dogs. I've never seen someone that claims to be a church charge for everything. And, at this point, I've spoken to so many people that go to the ramp, have gone to the ramp, and they all say the same thing as far as that. Nothing is free there. Nothing. Not one thing. And I've never been to, and there probably are some that beg for money a little more than I'm used to, but I've never been to a church, somewhere that claims to be a church, beg for money as much as they do. Like, My church simply, at the end of the service, ask for the offering for your tithes, just like every church. It lasts about 5 minutes of that, and that's it. The amount of videos I have of Karen Wheaton begging for money is crazy to me. I mean, and the fact that she has begged for money for certain projects, and at least one of those projects, she has literally been begging for money for it for over 20 years, well, since 2008, but possibly longer, but I know at least since 2008. And she never did the project, even though we know she's raised the money that she needed for the project 5 times over at least, and literally never did the project. Yeah, Camp Ramp. And there are people still giving her money for that. At some point, I'd go, I gave you money for that 15 years ago. Like, I'm not still giving you money for it. She's good at it. I mean, she can get money out of people. It's crazy how good she is at it. And she has zero shame in begging for money. The new students come in for orientation soon, and a student and alumni conference. Will there be a protest organized for that or any of the Sunday morning services? I wasn't able to make the last one. Don't ask me. One thing you will never catch me doing again is organizing any type of protest in Hamilton, Alabama. That'll never happen again. I'll probably go to them if somebody has them, but you have to ask the gatekeepers if they're going to have one or not. Yeah, and she's selling properties off that were bought by donated monies. I mean, again, they're trying to sell, and she's actively recruiting students for the college, but then has the college up for sale for, was it like $2.1 million or $2.2 million? Which I don't think there's any way in the world she gets that much for that building, but I don't understand how. As I've said, Karen is, and I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being serious. She's an expert at quite a few things. She's an expert communicator, leader, unfortunately manipulator, and she's a hell of a salesman. I mean, because that, to me, that would be a hard sell. Hey, pay us $4,500 to come to our college that's not accredited at all. And while you're here paying us that, you're going to have to work 30 hours per week of manual labor, and you don't get paid for it. That's just part of you being in school here. We're not going to feed you. You have to figure out your own food. Oh, and also, I have the college up for sale, but don't pay attention to that. Like, I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it. Are you actively working with domestic violence victims in Alabama? I have a woman I've been helping. I guess it depends on your definition of helping. I'm in contact with quite a few, and I help them in any way that I can, as far as steering them in the right directions of resources and things like that. So yes, if that's what you're asking. But you can message me. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, like Melissa said, they lie and say credits carry over, and they actually. This is crazy. It's not coming from the ramp, but it is. They actually list. We found. I think it was on their website. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where they actually say that their credits will transfer to 2 separate colleges. Well, we have verified with those 2 separate colleges that is not true. Literally not true. Again, I don't know how she gets away with everything she does. Oh, and by the way, Jessica, I've not forgotten about you. I'm going to message you. I know I haven't yet, I don't think, but I'm going to. I've not forgotten about you. Why will I not do a protest in Hamilton again? Well, I don't want to get too much into it because we did discuss it one live, and I really wasn't even going to discuss it at all. But so I don't want to put much into it. There's a couple of locals that don't want me there, and they tried everything they could for me not to be there. Again, I'm not going to get into much details because I don't want this like overshadowing what we're doing for the ramp. But they literally tried to have me arrested. And apparently them being in charge of the protest is the biggest thing that's ever happened to them or something. I don't know. But I'm not dealing with that mess. There are more people, organizations, and towns that beg for my help all the time, that fully appreciate any help that we're able to give them. And there are some, again, it's literally like 2 locals. It's none of the rest, but 2 of them, they did not want me there. at all. And again, they tried everything for me not to be there. So one of them quoted in the local newspaper that they had known what's been going on at the ramp for over 20 years, but they just started speaking out about it. So I have a lot of questions about that. I truly believe one of them is being paid by Karen Wheaton. The more we've looked into things, I truly believe that. So if you are local, just be careful who you trust up there. Because there are some people who say they're against the ramp that are not. And again, I'm not saying I won't be back up there or anything. I'm just saying I will not be organizing another protest or anything up there. I don't have time to deal with. I don't have time to be attacked by the people we're going against, plus the people who claim to be on our side. So they can have it. They haven't done shit for 20 years there. But as soon as somebody comes in that's been trying to do something, they have a problem with it. So I'm getting pissed. Anyway. Subject of tonight. Well, we have had some of the most depressing conversations ever. So we attempted to change the subject and get on something that was a little more happier, and that didn't work out too well. So we're still trying to find that happy. Oh, there's Neely. Neely, so I was trying to tell everybody to follow you, and so I sent them to your personal Facebook page, but I know you have other platforms and stuff. What is the number? Where do you want people to follow you? What platform? What profile? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I sent them to. We put up your website as well. I showed them that and sent them there as well. But I meant to ask you where you wanted me to steer everyone to. Can I speak with someone? You have to give me more. What do you mean exactly? Mary said she had to go to YouTube because Facebook kept taking her to the beginning of the video with that child. I wonder why. I don't know. I've never been on that end, so I don't know exactly how it works. But yeah, Neely, that's what I was going to ask you. Where do you prefer everybody follow you at? Like, is it your Facebook, or do you have another profile or something that you'd prefer? Okay, so Neely said her Facebook or YouTube. And it looked like I said, you can go to her website, murdercreekmedia.com. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Neely, but your YouTube, all your links are on there. They can get to your stuff from there. I should probably get a link tree or something. I've got to get my link tree set up. I got it a long time ago, and I haven't put it up yet, but I've got to do that myself. The topic of the night, we've been kind of all over. Been talking about Brittany Stapleton, human trafficking, all the fun, happy subjects. I had everyone so depressed earlier, I didn't know if I was going to make it out of it. Definitely wasn't one of my best motivational speeches. When you tell people, hey, by the way, within 100 years after you leave this earth, nobody will have known you. Nobody will remember you, and it will be as if you didn't never existed. It sounded so much worse when it came out than when it was in my head, too. It is the truth, but the point of that is a few things. One, our life here is not the most important, and that's a prime example of that. Two, if you do end up doing something big enough to be remembered, you're one of the few. Have I looked into the situation at Pritchard, Alabama PD and their arrest? Yeah, not like deep, but I've kept up with it a little bit. It's just law enforcement, especially any law enforcement that has worked with any federal agencies, state agencies, or maybe some state or federal task forces that's been all over the state of Alabama. It's not shocking at all. Pritchard is, and for years, it's a different world. When I was working on task force, it's definitely one of those places where we knew not to trust any law enforcement there, none. And that was over 10 years ago. Obviously, not much has changed. It's terrible. There are a lot of just horrible things that are coming out about that. A lot of people should spend the rest of their life in federal prison. I'll say that. And I'm very confident that some of them will spend a lot of years in federal prison. My thoughts on Brittany Stapleton saying she got Ashley Cole's personnel file from Cartersville. Isn't that illegal? First, Ashley is I'm going to get Ashley on the podcast soon I should have already, but I got so busy with other things. But I'm going to get her on. She's awesome. She's been through a lot, but she has got a story to tell, a testimony. If anyone ever questioned how horrible Josh Stapleton is, as we well, CJ, I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but one thing that we discussed in the beginning of the podcast was in March, Brittany Stapleton sent me a message trying to blackmail me. It didn't work because, as I said, I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be, never will claim to be. I've made mistakes in my life, but there is absolutely nothing that Brittany Stapleton could put out about me that's true that would be 1/50th of as bad as her husband. So you're not going to be, nobody's going to blackmail me. No matter what it is, you're not going to shut me up that way. But she tried, and I knew she had tried with other people. But I brought up another message that she had sent to another larger creator, Megan Renee, where same thing. She tried to blackmail her. Well, it didn't work on her either. But unfortunately, we have found a creator it did work on. And then the more I dug into her, and it's Erin MJ, the more I dug into her, the worse things got. But she was calling out, and she's got like 250,000 followers on TikTok, so she's pretty big on TikTok. She was calling out Brittany Stapleton, making videos about her. And all of a sudden, this Erin girl pulled all of their Brittany Stapleton stuff down. Not only that, she put out a full apology video apologizing to Brittany Stapleton. And in the video, and I showed the video, literally saying that she's proud of Brittany Stapleton. Well, with the help of some others, we put two and two together and figured out pretty quick. Erin didn't get a change of heart like she says she did and apologized to Brittany Stapleton. She was blackmailed. And one of the troubling things about it to me is this Erin girl's been pretty open about her past. She's a recovering addict. She's been very open about all that stuff. So obviously Brittany has something on her that's pretty bad. So bad that she's now pretending to be best friends with Brittany. But then I showed another video, which is it's horrible, that involves her child, that I didn't even have words for it. It was just horrible. So my point in saying all that is whatever Brittany got from, if she even really did get anything from the police department there, Ashley Cole has been extremely open about her past, about what happened to her after that case. And so Brittany is an evil piece of shit. I mean, it's crazy. But and let's see, I still got them up. Let me. So this is the where she sent what she sent to me, and this was back in March. We can truce anytime you'd like. You've dragged me for months, and I've kept my mouth shut. I don't post anything without proof, and I don't speculate. Which, by the way, if you know anything about Brittany Stapleton, that's just comical. I have more, and it's not a good look. She's talking about bad stuff on me. I will not stop if you continue coming after me and speculating things that are absolutely not true. I could take legal action with the recordings I have of you making false statements about me. Instead, I'll give you the same offer. We never speak each other's names again. You delete everything about us, me and Josh, and I delete everything about you because, quite frankly, I don't enjoy ruining marriages and embarrassing people's children over their parents' actions. Simple and up to you. I've done this with True Crime Megan and a realtor, and I'll do the same for you. Your choice. So, yeah, shit don't work with me. In fact, if you send me something like that, I'm just going to put in double time on you then. That's never going to work on me. And it also did not work on so Megan Renee, who is she's a pretty big. Why is that not? No, there we go. I don't remember how many followers she has, but she's really big on TikTok. Plus, she's awesome. So Brittany sent this to her. You said we can just not talk about each other or we can go tit for tat. Would you like to stick to not talking about each other or would you prefer the latter? You have an entire playlist about me. Remove it, post an apology, and we're even. Simple. If not, tit for tat because I have allowed your cyberbullying and harassment for more than a year. I've held on to what I have on you for months. Only because you have a child or children. And when I went after True Crime Megan, I felt like shit because her children didn't deserve it. Yeah, Brittany is all of a sudden worried about all of our children. Now, Aaron MJ here is the one that she did. So again, first off, if you're following this Aaron MJ on TikTok, please go unfollow her because she's not a good person. But again, she has 255,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, we're about to start getting hit with a lot of trolls again. By the way, my team just brought that up because I'm talking about this again. Y'all watch. I would not be surprised at all if I don't get banned off TikTok in just a minute. Watch this.
I apologize to Brittany Stapleton, and let me tell you why. Hi, my name.
So this is her apology to Brittany Stapleton. So pay attention to what she says her reasonings are for this apology. It's bullshit. Brittany sent her the same thing, and then she did this.
My name is Erin. I'm a recovering addict and a survivor of CSA and CSA material. Now, notice how I said I apologize because I came from the same place that y'all are coming from right now in the comments as you're typing. I do get it. So when the grill blew up in her face and I saw all of my favorite, girlies like stitching stuff and saying things, I was like, ooh, let me get on that. So I went to her account. I left hate comments on that video. I left hate comments on other videos. And then it brought me to a video where she was talking about how the hate that has come through this platform almost pushed her to a point where she just didn't want to wake up anymore. And she survived it. And as somebody that has been through cyberbullying, that shit pulled on my heart and I started crying. And I was like, Erin Michelle, you.
Let me be clear on one thing also. If you're a child predator or a protector of child predators, I will bully you every single day that I possibly can, every hour that I can. And I will sleep good knowing I do. In fact, it's one of my things that I really enjoy.
Know better. So I sat with that feeling and I was like, you know what? I went back and I deleted my comments. I sat with the.
So all this sound familiar? She went back and deleted everything. She's putting out an apology.
The words that I wanted to say, I typed them out and I apologized to her for the way that I treated her, because projection is poison. Projection prolongs pain. I do want to say that I love you guys. For the longtime followers that are going to unfollow and block me for this, I still love you, okay? What I do doesn't make any sense to other people because you guys don't understand what I went through as a child, and you never will. You might hear.
So she is trying to blame the reason that she's apologizing to Brittany Stapleton on her childhood because she, according to her, went through these horrible crimes as a child, which is terrible. And I hate that for her. But trying to use that as the reason you're now saying that you're proud of Brittany Stapleton is complete ignorance.
My story, but you will not understand the impact it had on me. I've been struggling to forgive my father for years. So I had to get to a place where I acknowledged that Josh is not my dad.
She's not even making any sense. I had to get to a place where I realized Josh is not my dad. What the fuck are you talking about, you crazy woman?
He's not the one who abused me. Do I agree with his charges or what he did? No. But I reached out to Brittany because she's not the one in jail. She's not the one who deserves to be treated the way that she's being treated. And I am proud of her, you guys. I'm very proud of her.
Brittany Stapleton deserves everything that happens to her.
And I can confidently say that she is not this bad person that you guys are saying she is, okay? I held off on making this video for months. I've posted about it on Friendzone.
So, how bad what horrible thing is out there about you that Brittany now has on you that would make you do all of this? Again, that's very concerning to me because it must be really bad. I guess we might as well play the other one for those that wasn't on. So, trigger warning. This next one, it may trigger some of you. It's very disturbing. Now, when I was putting everything together of, oh, wow, this girl actually fell for Brittany's BS and went along with it, I kept, when I was looking at her profile, I was like, she looks familiar, but I couldn't place where I'd seen her because I'm not following her or anything. And it finally clicked to me. I was like, I think that's the girl that Chris Hansen was just talking about the other day. So Chris Hansen posted, this is so bad, he posted this on his profile just maybe a week or two ago. And that's where I'd seen it. And then earlier today, I put two and two together and realized that's the same freaking girl. So this is a screen recording of one of her lives that she did a while back.
Looks like Roblox. I'm gonna let him work that out on his own because I'm not going to get screamed at over a fucking video game.
She's talking about her 5-year-old, by the way, who is screaming like that over Roblox, a game that no child should be playing anyway, much less I had no idea 5-year-olds were playing Roblox at all. That is very concerning to me in itself.
Yeah, it's literally fucking Roblox. Now he's running away, friends.
So, did y'all hear what that 5-year-old just said? If you didn't hear, the 5-year-old just screamed, "I'm going to effing myself." So the 5-year-old is in the background screaming they are going to take their own lives. And someone, when we were talking about this earlier, someone brought up a really good question. Why does a 5-year-old even know what that is? And that's a very good question. This is very troubling all the way around. He said it again. He said it again. Now, we don't know what's going on in the background, but I mean, it sounds horrible. We don't know. But the way she, first off, as you've heard me say, and you're going to hear me say, as long as I'm doing this for a living, if your child plays Roblox, stop what you're doing right now and get them off of it and never let them back on it. It is literally a hunting ground for child predators. And that's been proven time and time again. There are literally thousands of child predators on Roblox every single day looking for their next victim. Say if this was any other game that wasn't as bad as Roblox. If your child is acting like that over a game, they don't need to be playing that game. I think everyone would agree with that. But considering it's Roblox, it just makes this whole thing so much worse. She obviously knows how it affects him because he starts screaming and she really goes, "It's fucking Roblox." A 5-year-old is playing on a game and has probably been targeted by God knows how many child predators already. And like I said, where did the 5-year-old hear that phrase? It's a good possibility he heard it on Roblox. It's a possibility he heard it from his mom. I don't know. But if you hear a 5-year-old making that statement, that's a lot of red flags. A lot. And again, the way she is so unbothered by this whole thing. And this girl, her most popular video on TikTok has over 60 million views. Guess what the video is about? Her reaction when she finds out she's getting her child back in her custody. I don't think I'm the only one thinking now, I'm pretty sure she should not have gotten her child back. In fact, I will say, I don't think she should have gotten her child back. So she probably gained a lot of those followers off that one video. And if you just watch that one video, you're like, hey, this is awesome. You know, wow, that's really cool. You know, this recovering addict, she straightened her life up. She's getting her child back. That's great. Until you see this. And until you see her apology video to Brittany Stapleton and her literally praising Brittany Stapleton and saying how proud she is of Brittany Stapleton. Haley, I'm talking about this Aaron MJ on TikTok. Her. She is now apparently really good friends with Brittany Stapleton. She is very proud of Brittany Stapleton. But again, if you are following her, go unfollow her. And it is my understanding from a pretty reliable source, this was reported to the local authorities, this video. And I don't have a lot of faith in those authorities. But I wanted to see if I could pull up I'm gonna pull up the video. I'm talking about her popular one. Well, if I can get signed on here.
You over, right?
Okay.
Just because you.
Whoa. That's way.
And then
Here it is. What just happened? Where did it go? Let me try this. Yeah, so here's this video has 60 million views, which is crazy. I mean, that's a lot of views, obviously. It says, I've waited 4 years for this moment.
and then oh my god! Oh my god! You're kidding me right now!
I'll follow you into the park.
Mama! We're 90 minutes into the video call! Mama! I gotta see my baby!
I'll be in a
I gotta go to my baby!
Until we think we'll die barefoot on the
I
sea.
gotta go to my
Nothing
baby!
you is sweeter than with
I'm
me.
going home! And then,
So it's something to do with her getting her child back. But from what I'm reading now, apparently she was raising money to help with that. I don't know if it's attorney's fees or what. And so someone donated a lot of money for the cause. And because it says on Thursday, it will be 4 years since I let my baby go to his nana's. 4 long, heartbreaking years. But I never stopped fighting. I didn't give up. My God is a big God. So again, if you saw this, you'd be like, that's awesome. Like, that's really cool. She's changed her life. She's getting her child back. That's great. Until you see that live where you realize she does not need her child. She does not need to have custody of children. And if she's truly clean now, which I have no reason to doubt, she has no excuse to be acting the way she was in that live. And allowing thousands of child predators access to her 5-year-old, on top of what her 5-year-old was saying. It's just horrible. And there is no, what did I tell y'all about TikTok? What did I say? It just happened. This is the bullshit I am talking about. So, your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in all search results because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards under our community guidelines. Sexually suggestive behaviors. By me showing a video on TikTok that's gotten 60 million fucking views. So they obviously didn't have a problem with her posting the video. But they're trying to kick me off for it. This is what I'm talking about. This is why this is so frustrating and aggravating. Your live is not appropriate for viewers in all regions and has been discontinued in some regions. Reason: sexualized behaviors. I told y'all that would happen. I knew that would happen. I told y'all. All because I call out child predators. Yes, TikTok. The video you showed is the violation because how she's dressed. That video has 60 million views on TikTok. 60 million. I've never even seen a video that has that many views on TikTok. 60 million. So TikTok obviously doesn't have a problem with it. Until I played it. There, let me see if you can see it. Trying to see if I can make it big enough where y'all can see. Y'all see? 60 million. 60 million views. She has probably made, let's see, how many likes does it have? Has 4 million. She probably made over $20,000, at least over $20,000 off this one video. At least 20,000. Probably more than that. Probably a lot more than that. But I play it and TikTok restricts me for sexual behavior. It's so frustrating. Like I said, it is hard to make money telling the truth. It is. But if you get on and fake some stuff like that, I try not to get so worked up, but sometimes I can't help it. I'll talk. That's one thing I'll talk with you about, Patriot. Some other people talk to me about that, you can't make this stuff up. Like, ah, but I apologize. I got so upset. It's every day. Like I'm dealing with this mess all the time, especially with TikTok. Like I said, they're constantly demonetizing videos. If they have anything to do, like if I'm talking about a child predator at all, and I'm very careful in the words I use, all that stuff, and they'll still like, I don't know. There's a lot of people working against, like I said, there's a lot of people working against those of us who do this, who call out those kind of people. But I do apologize for getting that upset over that. But the live video was, I mean, that was just a few weeks ago, the live video. And I'm not sure when. Let me see.
And then,
yeah, that other video was in February, so yeah, that was way before the live. But anyway, I made a whole podcast about all that with Brittany Stapleton and her and all that stuff. And I'll get that out tomorrow. I recorded it today, and I was trying to get it out today, but I ran out of time today. But I'll get that out tomorrow, so y'all check that out. And I'm going to be doing some more stuff, of course, on the ramp. I've got some stuff planned coming out soon on Perry Stone. Been trying to get to him for a while, and so I'm going to get some stuff out about him soon. But I'm going to run for the night. I appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. I really do. It means a lot to me. I couldn't do any of this by myself. It requires all of you. So I appreciate everything you all do, all your kind words, and all your support. All I ask you to do is watch my stuff, listen to my podcast. And for the new ones, you can catch my full podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. You can find me on any platform under Agent D Baker, except for my Facebook is just my full name, Derek, Derek Baker. And if you have trouble finding me on any of the platforms, just go to the website, agentdbaker.com. And we've got the links to all the platforms on there, as well as all the information, any other information you wouldn't want to know about me. If you want to message me, if you want to, if you have any questions for us, if you are interested or someone you know is interested in being a guest on the podcast, go through the website. There's a contact button on there. You can't miss it. And just you put your name, email address, and then the message, and we'll get to that and get back to you as soon as we can. You can message me on the platforms, but I cannot promise you I'll see them because I get so many. I can't always keep up with all of those. So the best way is to go through the website. And other than that, I will see y'all back Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. And remember, my Wednesday night lives are YouTube exclusively. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you go to subscribe to it. Again, it's Agent D Baker. And so that way you don't miss the Wednesday night lives, because they're exclusively on YouTube, because we can be a little more free with what we talk about. We don't have to be as careful. And we usually, it's really, I've started really enjoying the Wednesday night lives because we can just talk more freely about stuff. And sometimes we get really deep into things. Sometimes we just have like laid back, a little more relaxing fun, which I definitely appreciate, especially after a night like tonight. But make sure you catch Wednesday nights live. And then Friday night, I'll be back live at 9 p.m. Central. So Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Central. Friday nights, 9 p.m. Central. And then Friday, I'll be back on all the platforms. Hope y'all have a great rest of your night and a good rest of your week. And I will see y'all back Wednesday. Welcome to Truth Recon. I'm Agent D Baker, former narcotics detective, SWAT team member, and U.S. Navy combat veteran. With years of real-world experience in high-stakes environments, I've seen firsthand the dangers that lurk both in our communities and now increasingly online. Before this show begins, understand this. What you are about to hear may be disturbing to some audiences. This podcast contains explicit language, dark themes, and real conversations that are not suitable for children and may be triggering for some individuals. If you choose to continue, do so knowing this content is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised. I want to put you onto a brand. I want to put you onto a brand that supports the people who run toward the stuff everyone else runs from. And this is deemed Fit, built by first responders for first responders, cops, firefighters, EMS, medics, dispatchers, the military, people who move fast and carry weight. Deem Fit makes gear for that life. Nothing extra, nothing fake. Apparel that works hard and feels right. But here's the part that made me want to work with them. The stigma breaking collection. Every piece carries a message. Are you okay? A simple question that opens doors most people are too afraid to walk through, because in this world, we lose too many of our own to the things nobody talks about. Wearing this line starts the conversation, and a portion of every purchase goes to mental health nonprofits serving first responders and veterans. Now to the gear itself, because I'm not putting my name on something that falls apart. Most gym stuff dies fast, not just the fabric, the fit, the feel, the way it holds up when you're actually pushing. This is built for the opposite of light cardio, extended shifts, strenuous training, the sessions that wreck cheaper gear, reinforced seams that stay put, moisture wicking fabric that works fast, a fit that moves with you, no bunching, no restriction. Training days, off days, it covers it all. This isn't just gym wear. It's stuff you'll actually live in. And I love that they lead with mental strength, not just physical. Their mental health apparel carries a message we all need to hear more often. You are not alone. That's mental toughness with real meaning behind it. Pride, purpose, service, sacrifice, and resilience worn on your chest. Here's how you support it and save. Click the referral link in the comments for 10% off your entire order. Or use my code Derek Baker, all one word, DEREKBAKER, at checkout for 15% off.